What's happening, fight fans and boxing world? I am your host, Nice, and welcome back to the Fight Room. If you're not subscribed to my channel, make sure you do for the latest boxing news, feedback, updates, and entertainment. Now, I have a boxing update for Canelo Alvarez and a potential fight that is being finalized for a Cinco de Mayo weekend bout. It was said by Eric Gomez, vice president of Golden Boy, that they're going to announce and reveal who is going to be his opponent for the May Cinco de Mayo event. Now, we all know that Billy Joe Saunders had turned this fight down, and Callum Smith, due to supposedly a monetary issue. And a lot of these fighters are wanting a lot of money to fight Canelo Alvarez, and they forget, man, that Canelo is the A-side fighter. And just because Canelo is Canelo, and he's of course number one, they got Vasil up there as well, but to me, I think pound for pound right now should be Canelo Alvarez, though I had Terence Crawford up for a while, but then when Canelo beat Triple G the second time, I ranked them up number one. So anyway, what I'm saying is that Canelo, he's the A side, and they want, all this money to fight the guy. They swear up and down that he's Floyd Mayweather and makes all this type of money, and that's not the case. That's not the case. But supposedly they do have opponents, and Eric Gomez stated that this opponent is a very, very dangerous fighter for Canelo. And we do not know who it is exactly, but one thing I am sure of is that Canelo stated that he did not want to go straight down to 160 because he just came out of the 175-pound fight against Sergey Kovalev, and it would be a drastic change to his weight, and he didn't want to go down that drastic that fast. So what I'm considering is that for sure he is going to have a 168-pound fight. So obviously, from what Eric Gomez states, that they're going to announce it pretty soon, I am guessing that it's going to be a 168-pound fighter. And let's just look down the line and see who are these potential fighters. Now, by the list that I have here, we're looking at the Ring Magazine list. That's the easiest list that I can go down to see the top 10. And of course, we have number one, Callum Smith. That is the ring champion and the WBA champion. At number one, they have David Benavidez that has the WBC title, and we all know he is with PBC. And then we have Caleb Plant at number two that has the IBF title, and he is also with PBC. Then we have Anthony Durrell at number three, and number four, of course, Canelo himself. Then we have Billy Joe Saunders at five that has the WBO title. And then we have at six, Caleb Truax from the United States. Then at number seven, we have a contender, by the name of John Ryder from the United Kingdom. And last but not least, I want to mention this fighter, David Lemieux. Now, he can be the potential opponent for Canelo Alvarez. He did say, Eric Gomez said, is a dangerous opponent. And we all know in the 168-pound division right now, the harder puncher that we can name in this list is, of course, a potential stablemate fighter, David Lemieux. So I'm thinking that this could be the opponent, though many fight fans and boxing media writers and me myself would be like, nah. But you know what? It would be a good bout. Because David Lemieux is not a bad fighter at all, and he definitely carries dangerous power. And Eric Gomez said is a dangerous fighter. So I'm putting those two together and stating maybe it could be David Lemieux. Now, let me go back to the list and see these other fighters that can probably be dangerous for Canelo. Yeah, Billy Joe Saunders. But of course, we heard that he turned it down. Could he have, reconsidered and maybe sat down and took the deal? Who knows? Maybe Callum Smith. But overall, I know for sure, and I believe with all my heart, that it's the 168-pound division, like I stated earlier. So, yeah, overall, I think it's going to be Callum Smith, or I think it could be David Lemieux. And David Lemieux's record is 41 wins, 4 defeats, 34 by knockout. So that record does speaks for itself. You know, he had a bad fight with Billy Joe Saunders, and Billy Joe, you know, just flat out just won every round, and it was like a boxing shutout. And we know that Billy Joe doesn't carry that much power, but he's still a dangerous fighter for Canelo, being that he is a slick southpaw, moves around, man, and he could be a hard to hit type of guy. But the fighter that I would like to see him face next would be Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant has been making noise. He's the IBF 168-pound champ. And yeah, you know, they've been talking about him fighting Benavidez, and they have some type of beef, and it would be a great fight. But I would like to see him fight Canelo. But due to the fact that he just came out of this victory, and he supposedly stated that it was too early for him to take that fight, being that the fight would be in May and he wouldn't have enough time to train and prepare himself for Canelo. So overall, man, I'm thinking that it would be David Lemieux, you know, a dangerous fight for Canelo, and it could be Callum Smith or Billy Joe. And another thing, Chepo Reynoso was stating that he wants to make the Triple G trilogy for a September bout, and it hasn't been stated by Canelo that is going to be made, but he has thought about it, and it's there, but it's not something that he's really, you know, thinking about. But Chepo Reynoso, his trainer, wants to see that trilogy come to pass. And we all seen Triple G in his last bout with Derevyanchenko, and you all know, and I know, man, he lost that fight. Derevyanchenko came back, and you know, he was just, you know, he just beat him. You know, never seen Triple G that vulnerable before, not even with Canelo. He really seemed hurt in that fight, got hit by a body shot, and he was wobbled like once or twice in that fight. So big ups to Derevyanchenko for, you know, exposing also Triple G. You know, Triple G is not the boogeyman any longer, and we all know who that is as of late. Canelo. You already know, it is your boy Nice. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that like button, and most of all, don't forget, share the fight room.